So we on?
We are. G'day and welcome to this week's cigar review. I'm here with Kenny, my good friend Ken Gargett.
And it's a great pleasure to have Smithy back on the balcony.
And we seem to be missing someone today, Ken.
Unfortunately, Warren and Alan couldn't make it.
Oh, that's it. I knew there was something wrong. But anyway, first up today, we're going to be doing the Upmann Connoisseur number 1. Box code LSM July 08. So, not a cigar that I have high in my rotation, but Upmann last year released the Upmann 50 and the 48, and also the 46 were back on the money. So I thought this would be.
And the Winnies were fabulous.
Yeah,
Winnies were sensational.
Yeah. So I thought this will be a good one to see whether they've maintained that quality all the way through the brand.
Cold to me was very lot of tobacco, a bit of earth, bit of cow pat, sort of that new leathery, but it was a bit fraction too much earthy cow pat.
Yeah.
But it started quite nicely.
Yeah. I got a lot of that tobacco characteristic on the nose, which was nice. So
before we actually managed to get the technology working, Smithy was saying chocolate. Now I don't see chocolate whatsoever.
I got just that touch of it on the. Hey, that's what I'm getting. You have your cow pat over there. I'm going to have my chocolate.
One man's cow pat is another man's chocolate. It's kicked off quite nicely. It's fairly
good draw.
Yeah, fairly full flavoured. Good dense smoke. It's not a refined sort of style.
No, there's a little sharpness to it. It is definitely right into the medium full.
Yeah.
It's not holding back. You're getting it as straight into it for flavour.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll progress a bit more and then we'll come back with our opening thoughts. Okay, back for the end of the first third, Upmann Connie 1. We've got the boss playing there loudly in the background. You're pleased with that, aren't you, mate?
Not loud enough, of course.
Not loud enough.
Can never be loud enough.
Never loud enough, I tell you. So what are you seeing with this, Kenny?
Look, I think it's a for a general rotation smoke, it's above average. It's still got all that tobacco. It's a bit above medium for me. There's a little bit of chocolate that has now sort of crept in. The construction and the burn and the draw and everything's been fine. To me, it's a sort of an above average smoke at this stage, without being great.
Yeah. It's come back. I'm with you on pretty much all of that. It's come back from full back towards medium a bit more. The construction's great, the burn's great, the smoke's great. It's going on nicely.
It's got this far, and now you might like to see a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
If it just continues like this, you're thinking, okay.
Yeah, it's at a critical point at the moment where I want to see it take me on a bit more of an adventure at the moment. Like you said, if it just continues on this path, which is a nice path and all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is okay, but you really want it to do something else. Quickly, what are we drinking here, mate?
It's a Chalk Hill Moscato. We've got a hot and humid Queensland summer afternoon, so something cold, something fresh. It's actually an 08, which probably a little bit older than it should be drinking the 09s, I suppose, but this just happened to be in the fridge.
Oh, we'll come back at the end of the second third and see how it's progressed. We are on, Kenny. Second third. A little dirty for me at the moment.
It's starting to show its youth, which it wasn't really doing to me. It's now. Also, the burn's got a little. Had to relight a couple of times. It's got the inverted cone, which is never great. But look, it's still a good solid.
Yeah. There is that youthfulness there that's sort of inhibiting it at the moment. I feel I'm also smoking a little faster than I normally smoke the cigar, so that may also be causing a couple of issues. But yeah, it's still performing as a solid cigar. At this point in time, I'm putting it about an 86, 87.
I'm thinking 87, 88. It's probably started for me at 88, 89, and it's now edging back.
It's come back 86, a point or two. Yep,
so
very
it's
much
around
so.
there.
Yep.
So it's still got a bit. See how it finishes.
Yep.
I'm not convinced it's going to finish on a high.
No,
you know what I mean? I just think
it may lose another point.
Yeah. But it's So.
Well, what do you think Ayala would be bitching about this at the moment?
Life in general.
Having
to go home to his family.
His wife and kids. Bitching about his staff. Yeah.
Oh, the staff. God, do we? I mean, we turn the camera off and away he goes on the staff.
It's interesting when I get to edit this stuff how often actually he forgets to turn it off. We'll come back with the final third. Now, final thoughts. Thanks, Kenny. Kenny, just finishing this off on the final third. As we mentioned, the second third, we were a little worried that it was going to get a bit grubby and dirty and dusty, and I think it's picked up actually.
It's resurrected itself.
Yeah.
Getting a few sweet notes coming through.
That's that little bit of a turn up that it.
It's a pleasant surprise.
It's back to. I'll give it an 88 as a cigar. The sweetness has come through, and I wish that sweetness was. You'll probably find that in the next 6 months or a year.
I reckon in a year these will start to look really good. But I think I don't know price of these, but if they're sort of your average cigar price.
The standard Robusto price on a cigar, and it's something that you need to have in your rotation. If that sweetness comes through a bit more, which I suspect it will, a great cigar to have. And complemented nicely with the Moscato as well. So you're going to stick with your 88, 89?
I reckon 88, 89's at least. It's probably not a 90, but
definitely, in a year I can see that pointing in that direction.
It's lost all that. I'm getting none of that grubby character at all.
Exactly. Which is really good, really surprising. Okay, so we'll finish that up, but we'll be back with you guys
in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks when I get around to editing this up. Thanks a lot.
Just here to help.
Yeah. And the boss is finished as well.
He'll be back.
Ayala left and he didn't take his Zacapa with him. He's left a bottle of XO sitting there, so I've just been enjoying that all week.
I'm sure that was a going away present.
Oh, well, I've assumed that's what it was.
Have you ever noticed that in all of these he always asks who's
everybody else, and then he agrees. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm getting.
He's got no idea.
Nothing.
No idea whatsoever. Promised Cohiba Grand Reserva review. Unfortunately, it appears that we may have to wait a little while.
Kenny's got to be on his best behaviour before he gets that. Just see what happens.
And happy birthday, Rob, and happy birthday, Smithy.
Thanks, Kenny, and to you, Rob. Yeah, it is Valentine's Day today, and I'm sharing it with Ken. We'll progress a bit more, and then we'll come back with our opening thoughts. Or we might just skip it and go to the end. Who gives a shit?